Hello everyone, my name's Alford. I'm the Pathways Coordinator at Hope Christian College. I'm going to talk about my role here at the college and also specifically focus on VET, Vocational Education and Training. So as you can see on the PowerPoint, Vocational Education and Training is commonly known as VET. I also cover work experience, careers counselling, resumes and application letters. I cover further training, which might be at TAFE or another trainer, or perhaps university entrance. Now I'm going to focus on VET, vocational education, and how it relates to the SACE.
One of the great things that the SACE does is recognise that learning happens in a huge range of ways, and it values that range of student learning pathways. The flexibility of the SACE is one of its strengths, and students can study a wide variety of options, one of which is vocational education and training, also known as VET. Students can study these qualifications alongside their SACE subjects, and in fact 40% of all students who completed the SACE undertook VET at some time during year 10, 11 or 12. VET can provide the context for all of a student's 200 SACE credits. In fact, students can actually use VET to help them complete their SACE. The great thing is you can even have an industry focus for the compulsory subjects in the SACE, such as the personal learning plan, English, mathematical subjects and the research project. They can all be focused towards the industry that you're interested in. Once students choose a VET qualification, the school's VET coordinator can help work out how many SACE credits they're likely to achieve at stage 1 or stage 2. It's the actual VET results, however, certified by their RTO that determine exactly how many SACE credits they're likely to be granted.
The school VET coordinator liaises with both the students and the RTO delivering the qualification to determine the program to best suit their pathway. This will include looking at the student's school subject selection and timetable and determining the best way to manage them all together. It may even be an option to negotiate to do a VET qualification in place of a school subject.
When you're doing your VET course, you may be off campus for part of one or a couple of days a week, accessing that training. This is also going to mean you do need to liaise with your school subject teachers at school to work out a way to catch up on any work that you've missed. There are strategies you can put in place to overcome this, such as getting someone to record lessons that you miss, requesting time with the teacher to catch up on important or new work that you may have missed out on or that you don't understand. The key is to communicate. Some courses can be out of school hours and don't have impact on school time and organisation. But again, keeping in touch with your VET coordinator, making sure you balance your other school subjects with your VET course is hugely important. There are people at school who are there to help support you in your management of your VET and of your schoolwork.
Students will need to consider logistics, such as how they will get to the course if it is off campus. Generally, it is a student's responsibility to work out the travel arrangements. Travel and access need to be taken into account when deciding whether a course is possible or not. Generally, there is a cost to undertake a VET course. This cost can vary depending on the type of course undertaken and is something to discuss with your school. There may also be costs specific to the qualifications students are interested in, such as tools, uniform or equipment. VET can count towards tertiary entrance. Students will need to satisfy all the university entrance criteria, but if they have successfully completed a Certificate 3 or above, that is stage 2 in the SACE, it is possible to use that qualification in the calculation of an ATAR. Your VET coordinator can give you more information. The best place to find out more about VET courses is to make an appointment with your school's VET coordinator. The SACE board also has a VET mini website which is information for students, parents and schools. Doing a VET course may not suit every student, but it can be a way to explore and get a head start in their career pathway. whatever pathway they choose, making sure that they are aware of the options and fully informed of the possibilities will ensure that they make the best decision.
Okay, so I'm just going to focus on a few things that were mentioned in the video. VET is really useful for students who are interested in a hands-on type of career pathway. And it operates through a national training system, which means that across Australia these qualifications will be valid, delivered by registered training organisations, also known as RTOs. Now, you need to think about whether this type of course is suitable for you or your child. And the things that you could think about is, do they enjoy hands-on learning? Because if they do, that might be a good reason to undertake a VET program. They'll be able to learn skills that they're interested in, whilst also gaining SACE credits at the same time. As mentioned in the video, Certificate 3 courses are normally counted as Stage 2 subjects. There are some exceptions, but a Certificate 3 or above is a stage equivalent to a Stage 2 subject, and that can be used in our ATAR calculations. What you also would have seen in the video is that most VET courses require students to be away from school for perhaps a whole day or maybe an afternoon or a couple of afternoons in a week. We recommend that the best time to do a VET course is in Year 11, but you need to consider that there might be prerequisites that students have to do whilst they're in Year 10. So if you currently have a child in Year 10, now would be the time to be thinking about a VET subject. Year 10 students can start a VET course in the second semester, so that's now, if there's a mid-year intake for that course. Don't recommend VET courses for Year 12 students because it is a very demanding year in itself, and undertaking a VET could be an extra burden that may not be good for them at that time. Some exceptions are courses that don't require time off school, such as VET Amorphous, which I'll talk about a bit later. As mentioned in the video, the Certificate 1 and 2 courses count towards Stage 1, which is Year 11 credits. Certificate 3 and higher count towards Stage 2, which is Year 12 credits. You need to be aware that Certificate 3 in retail, which is often offered by fast food outlets, count as Stage 1 credits. If you've got any more questions about that, just please contact me. VET Amorphous is one that I mentioned just a bit earlier. It's a nationally accredited Certificate 3 in Christian Ministry and Theology, and it counts as a Stage 2 subject. So we do recommend our students to undertake VET Amorphous in Year 11 or 12. It normally runs after school, so they don't actually miss lessons, which is a good thing. If there's enough students, we get it to run at Hope Craigmore Christian Church, and there is information on a website. If you just look up VET Amorphous, you'll be able to find that out. Now I want to consider apprenticeships and traineeships. This might be something that your child is interested in. It's a wonderful program where people can learn and earn at the same time, which means they get paid for their employment, but they're training as well. And they get a nationally recognised certificate in training. So apprenticeships and traineeships can be full-time, part-time or school-based. School-based means they undertake it whilst they're at school. Some people ask, what's the difference between an apprenticeship and a traineeship? So basically an apprenticeship lasts longer. They're normally 3 to 4 years. They cover traditional trades such as building, construction, automotive, hairdressing, etc. Traineeships are a newer thing. They've been around for the last few years. They cover a much wider range of occupations like horticulture, warehousing, dental, business, etc. They last from 1 to 2 years. If your child is interested in an apprenticeship after leaving school, there are some things that you need to be aware of. Employers are looking for certain characteristics, and that is that the student has completed Year 11, that they've studied a vet course whilst at school and in the relevant field that they're applying for, that they've done work experience, and that they have a driver's licence. Now, if your child hasn't done these things, then gaining an apprenticeship will be more difficult for them. As mentioned on the video, there is a vet mini site on the SACE website, and there's also a vet recognition register which lists a lot of qualifications that you might be interested in. If you've got any questions at all, please contact me. I work part-time, so the best way to contact me is via email, and I normally reply quite quickly to your queries. So I hope to hear from you and possibly get some of your children enrolled in a vet course for next year. Thank you, and thanks for watching.